And how are you? How are you?
I'm great.
We're proud of you. Always.
Well, thank you. No, I'm doing great. And you looking well too.
Well, yeah, I'm so kind of on the sidelines, but I can't do golf and all that stuff anymore. But life is good. It's wonderful, and it's great having the family up here in Maine, and all is well. Do you see our man Ailes at all?
Oh yeah, I saw Roger at Tony Snow's funeral.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, and a couple of times earlier this summer. He's
we're on the radio, are we? I didn't know that. I'd clean up my act here. I'm glad they told me.
People love to hear about Roger Ailes.
Yeah, it's a great story.
It fascinates me. Not a lot of people know that the guy who started Fox News was basically Richard Nixon's chief television propagandist for the 1968 presidential election. And he started out, he was very young. One of the things people were obsessed with in the 60s was youth. The idea that youth was this new left-wing force in American culture. Well, you know what? It was also a conservative force, too. Roger Ailes was younger than Abbie Hoffman. He was younger than Tom Hayden. And he was the guy who told Richard Nixon, let me back up. Nixon was going on the Mike Douglas show, which was an afternoon show kind of watched by housewives. And he was sitting in the makeup chair, and this young producer named Roger Ailes, 26 years old, is making small talk. And Nixon says, isn't it strange? Isn't it strange the things you have to do these days to become president of the United States, go on these silly, afternoon chat shows for housewives. And rather than kind of humor him, Roger Ailes fixed him in the eye and said, if you think this is silly, you'll never become president of the United States. And immediately delivered a detailed critique of all the mistakes Richard Nixon had made in his television campaign in 1960 when Roger Ailes had been in high school. Now, Roger Ailes, long story short, went to work for Richard Nixon in 1968. The story is told brilliantly in Joe McGinnis's classic book, The Selling of the President. He invented the fake town hall meeting where they would get a bunch of ordinary citizens to ask Nixon questions. There would be a bunch of Nixon fans in the audience. Whatever he said, the Nixon people would ecstatically applaud, and so they would cut this into 30-second commercials so it looked like the whole country was going gaga over Richard Nixon. And Roger Ailes was the guy who started a Fair and Balanced Fox News.
Yes, that's it for Special Report this time. More news is on the way, fair and balanced as always.